Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope and Thomas get back together after their engagement ends? Updates and spoilers for The Bold, and the beautiful hint that a reunion between Thomas Forrester and Hope Logan may be imminent. Even after Hope crushed Thomas's heart by turning down his marriage proposal, may some broken engagements bring these ex-lovers back into each other's arms? Now that Matthew Atkinson's comeback as Thomas Forrester has been confirmed, it's time to consider what will happen to the character. We should pay special attention to Thomas's romantic prospects because love stories are often the emphasis of the CBS soap opera. Thomas was engaged to Paris Buckingham when B&B fans last saw him, but there is no guarantee that the wedding will take place or has already taken place. Paris and Thomas may split up before they've even had a chance to exchange vows since they never seemed like a match made to be. If that happens, Thomas might go on a quest for self-awareness and learn that Hope is still the woman he secretly longs for. Depending on the plots that are being developed, Thomas's obsession with Hope might reappear. In any event, Hope can end up in a similar predicament as a failed engagement if her relationship with Carter Walton fails. Daphne Rose may be able to lure Carter away from Hope now that she's back in Los Angeles. If he ends up favoring Daphne above Hope, this could cause Carter to betray his current fiancée, which would cause Hope to call off the wedding. Alternatively, he might choose to slow things down completely. In any case, if Hope and Thomas both lost their soon-to-be wives, they would be going through the same thing. Although Thomas thought he would live with Paris forever, he might eventually realize that their relationship was never intended to last. Hope might reach a similar conclusion about Carter and start to wonder if she ought to have agreed to Thomas's proposition right away. How likely do you think it is that Thomas and Hope will contemplate getting back together romantically after their engagements are over? The Bold and the beautiful teasers indicate that Thomas will be back in the plot by early September. As more details regarding his upcoming exciting arc become available, we'll keep you informed. Are Sheila's old tricks still working? Tease Sheila's desire to do all it takes to make her grandchild happy in The Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Luna Nozawa is still obsessed with Will Spencer since she couldn't get over her obsession with shooting people and getting shot. As she recuperates in Lee Finnegan's hotel room, he is actually the only thing on her mind. Since Luna and Lee don't seem to be as close as Sheila, Carter, and Luna ends herself confiding in her closest grandmother. Although Sheila is aware of Luna's intense feelings for Will, she dissuaded her from pursuing him after realizing that he wasn't really interested in her. Other than being glad that Luna is no longer alive, Will is completely focused on Elektra Forrester and doesn't even think about her. She is not dead, of course, so Will and Elektra had better keep an eye on their backs because they might be in for a major surprise sooner rather than later. Sheila hears Katie Logan talking to Deacon Sharp when she stops by Il Giardino to organize a party for Will, and her mind begins to race. Is she able to take advantage of this party? Perhaps it will allow Luna to finally get Will. Is Luna supposed to make her debut at this party? If that is Sheila's intention, she must ensure that Luna won't be arrested by the police as soon as they discover she is still alive. Is there anything Sheila can do to make it happen? A few years ago, Deacon was able to get Sheila out of jail. Can he repeat it? Given how he felt about Luna killing his two best friends, would he even want to? Sheila is resolved to make amends to Luna as best she can, but she will need to exercise caution if she hopes to accomplish this. Brooke is frustrated by Luna's desire to see Finn Ridge's breakup delay. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke Logan was irritated by Rich Forrester's delay in their split, while Luna Nozawa desired to meet John Finnegan. This is how the episode unfolded. Just before Katie Logan arrived at Forrester Creations, Brooke updated her about Nick Marone's departure. Brooke stated he was holding on to it till he came back after acknowledging that Nick had shown her an engagement ring. Naturally, there was considerable discussion about Ridge being the man Brooke had always desired. Taylor Hayes acknowledged the pain of Brooke's rescue at the Forrester mansion, but she refused to remove the ring off her finger and reminded Ridge that Brooke's future was with someone else. After appearing conflicted and guilty, Ridge went to the office and had a private discussion with Brooke. Ridge responded that it wasn't the appropriate moment to explain things because Kelly Spencer was present when Brooke inquired about how things had gone with Taylor earlier. Ridge was informed by Brooke about Nick's ring and his near proposal in Italy. Ridge asked Brooke when he would make amends after he assured her that he didn't want to lose her. If Ridge was unable to break up with Taylor and get back together with her, Brooke threatened to return to Nick. Ridge pulled Brooke into a cozy embrace without explaining his intentions. Katie paid her a visit at Eric Forrester's house while she was back with Taylor. Taylor believed that Brooke and Ridge had previously been so codependent, which resulted in some arguments concerning them. Taylor believed that Ridge would only experience more heartache if he went back to his ex, even if Katie was obviously still hoping for Ridge and Brooke to get back together. Taylor cautioned that it wouldn't occur because of this. Electra Forrester felt guilty in the design office for keeping Will Spencer waiting for their relationship's next exciting development, especially when so many other girls would have jumped at the chance. Electra loved a makeout session with Will, who insisted he only had eyes for her. Electra gave Will her trust since she knew he was nothing like Remy Price. Electra also acknowledged that her mom was harmed by her father's infidelity when she was younger, which caused her to become more wary after their divorce. Electra was grateful for Will's patience, though, and believed she would soon be prepared for the next phase. Sheila Sharp and Lee Finnegan, meanwhile, took Luna's hands and assisted her in walking for a moment. Luna was feeling more like herself and applied some lipstick as well. Luna, however, made it apparent that the animosity had vanished and promised to take full advantage of this second opportunity. It was very important to Luna to have the support of Lee and Sheila. Lee appeared uneasy, but Luna also admitted that she wanted to meet Finn. Luna maintained optimism for the future despite Lee's insistence that it couldn't happen at this time. Lee was shocked when Sheila finally mentioned Luna's interest in Will. As a result, Lee advised Luna to avoid thinking about guys in general, and Will in particular because he is a Spencer. Luna implied that he could have kissed her back to life and of course gave Will Sting flashbacks anyhow. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna will demonstrate that she is still a troublemaker in the upcoming weeks, so keep an eye out for any concerning developments. Why Grace asked Paris for money, didn't she? Grace's plan has made her the most hated person in the public eye. Because of her lies, Mrs. Buckingham must now deal with Liam and Bill's wrath. Grace apologized and explained why she had lied, but she isn't receiving any sympathy. Grace was a desperate mother attempting to keep her family safe. There was no other option for Reese, whose gambling debts endangered the lives of her daughters. But there was another way to deal with her financial issues. Paris, Grace's daughter, might have provided the money. Thomas has Forrester money and Paris is engaged to him. Paris is able to assist Grace, and it's likely that she would have if her mother had contacted her. What prevented Grace from going to Paris in the first place? Grace believes it is her responsibility as the Buckingham family's matriarch to care for her daughters. Grace had to keep Paris and Zoe safe since their lives were in danger. By telling them what was happening, she didn't intend to frighten them. However, they are likely upset now that they are aware of it. Paris will expect explanations from her mother when and if she returns. Grace will also discover that she ought to have consulted her daughter earlier. Sadly, Grace has to live with the consequences of her mistakes. Paris may not have been able to assist her mother with her financial difficulties, but she might be able to keep Grace out of jail. But with Liam and Bill breathing down their necks, that will be difficult. Luna is indeed rehabilitated, but how well does she remember things? Lee changed his mind about Luna. Lee didn't want anything to do with Luna and her mother Poppy when they first arrived in town. One of them, she realized, was up to no good. However, it turned out that Luna was the one causing trouble. She would kill anyone who stood in her way because she was so anxious to have her biological father back in her life. When Steffi and Finn told Luna they didn't want to interact with her, it happened once again. Luna was shot by Liam, and following surgery, she was placed in a coma. Lee took it upon herself to rehabilitate her granddaughter since she didn't want Luna to die. She thinks Luna merits another opportunity. However, it appears that Luna has already reverted to her previous behavior. She is prepared to use blood to paint the town red. We wonder about Luna's memories since she wants to destroy Will and Electra's romance. To what extent does she recall? Luna was unable to talk when she woke up. She seems to have forgotten about the school shooting. When Luna discovered that she had nearly killed Sheila, she became terrified. However, Sheila reassured her that it was just another toe she had lost. Luna is also enamored with Will. The kiss they had is all she can think about. She seemed to only recall the events leading up to the shooting. She believes that she and will have a shot. In actuality though, he had a wire on him and intended to reveal Luna's wrongdoings, which didn't work out. Luna's crime spree was preceded by this. Once more, Luna will not have a good ending to this. She will think Will is her genuine love and will stop at nothing to win him over, even if it means Elektra's death. Lee's attempts to save Luna were a failure. Once this murderous scheme is exposed, she will once more want nothing to do with her.